everyone! This is Korith Landwalker, and this afternoon we have an exciting session of Star Citizen lined up ahead. The 3.13 patch has landed. So, as you might imagine, there are some new things, and some of them are noticeable and some of them are less noticeable. And we're going to fiddle around with a couple of them today. So, without further ado, let's get at it, because last time a patch landed and I was featuring stuff on a patch, it took the entire stream. I don't think this will be quite as in-depth, but it might be. The first thing that's worth mentioning is a little new entry on the mobiGlas called Delphi. Delphi is our list of reputation system stuff, and you'll see that right now I have nothing and nobody here. This will change. And to make that change, we're going to have to do a couple bounty hunting missions. So we are going to do the Tracking Training Permit. And conveniently, he's an aerial. It will cost me 500 UEC, but that's only a short-term loss, believe me. Compared with the benefits of doing these things, things will improve. Also, because we will be doing a combat situation, always take a call to arms. Did I say always? I meant it. Now, the ship we're going to fly to do this today is going to be the Rsi Constellation Andromeda. And the reason I'm going to be doing that is twofold. One, I know it'll make mincemeat out of the bounties. But two, it has been the recipient of one of the big changes of 3.13 that has been long awaited by Constellation owners. Now that said, there are apparently some bugs that are out there involving the Constellation right now. There are people who are claiming that they are exploding when you use the elevators. I'm hoping that won't be the case here. Stay tuned though, because fun! Yeah. Now you will have noticed that there are two ships on my pad. That is because the Kruger P-52 Merlin, which has always been on the back part of the Andromeda, is now usable. Yes, you will be able to detach this ship and fly it, and then redock. And that is something we will be doing today. Probably doing very poorly, but you know, such are the hazards of space travel. Okay, step one. Let's see if the elevator kills me. Well, no explosions yet. Maybe they're having problems landing on planets when they do that. Now you notice that the lighting is a little bit different here too. It used to be pitch black when you came inside with no power, but now we have at least some sort of ambient lighting going on. Yeah, sure, we'll go to the cargo bay and do that. So you don't have to worry about turning on your flashlight for the most part. And there's a Merlin, and we will demonstrate the use of that in a bit. First though, I want to try to see if I can get some of that reputation rolling. So let's head over to the flight deck, and you're going to see some other lighting changes momentarily as well. Although maybe first I'll get us rolling. I don't want to accidentally be stored back in the hangar and have to go back to retrieve it. Now, I did take some effort to purchase the shiny green paint job in-game. So, this is not a Phoenix Emerald. This is an Andromeda Emerald. Actually, it's not even an Andromeda Emerald, technically speaking. Don't recall what the exact paint job is, but it's easy enough to find out, right? I'll just wait for the select ship option to come up here. And I might not even have to do that because... Dark green livery. There you go. Which can be purchased at, well, one of the component shops in the area. I don't know if it's at Omega Pro or at Dumper's Depot or what have you. Okay, I haven't actually gotten around to targeting my bounty hunting destination yet, so let's get them. With the new patch landing, all your reputation progress has been reset. Probably so it can, in part, work with the new Delphi tab on your Moby class. So you gotta go and start all over again with these bounty hunting missions. I don't really have any psychological problem with that. So your first mid bounty is going to open up the very low risk threat bounties, and eventually you can get yourself back up to the very high risk level threats. There is also supposedly an extreme risk one, but I've never gotten that far. And I kind of suspect I'm still not going to. Okay, there is a target ahead of me, but I can't see him, so he's up. There we are, flying an M50 Interceptor. This feels like overkill. Objective complete. What is that X in the middle of my screen? This is supposed to be communications. So something is wrong. I've heard someone saying something about something funny going on with the friends list. I wonder if that's related. If so, that's going to complicate life substantially. No, the friends list is still here. Nope. Didn't mean to do that. Now you'll see that I've got a little, oh, I think I have other... Do I have little hostiles coming in here? No. Spaceships make weird electronic sounds sometimes. I feel like I need to bang on the console or something to make them be quiet. As I was saying, exclamation mark on Delphi, which means something has happened. You'll see, I now have an organization here. The Bounty Hunters Guild. And I see that I do have a target available now. So let's take advantage of the call to arms and erase this Aurora from my radar. Okay, that seems to be involved. I seem to be getting communications from the bad guys I'm shooting, and they're showing up on my communications here, but then it's giving me a big red X instead of, you know, anybody else. Conversation has ended. Thank you. But it doesn't have any way to go back to its default configuration. At least not that I can see. That's a problem. But hey, this is Star Citizen. More bugs than a Starship Troopers movie. This should not be that surprising. Okay, we're going to bring ourselves to a stop and cut the engines. While we're waiting for that, let's go back to Delphi so I can continue showing this around. You can see I've got Bounty Hunters Guild and I have an arrow here. If I click on the arrow, well, nothing's happening. Probably because I don't have anything else rolling on. Nobody under contacts yet, but that will happen eventually. I have an affinity, which is basically slightly good. And we have a dossier about the Bounty Hunters Guild. Bounty Hunters Guild. Boy, man, I stumbled over that one bad, didn't I? Operating for well over 5 centuries, the Bounty Hunters Guild has been active for almost as long as there have been outlaws in space. It is primarily a service union that provides its bounty hunter members with various resources and benefits such as discounts on supplies, vetting suitable contracts, and career training. Security forces tend to prefer using guild members for bounty work, owing to the high standards maintained through their certification program. So clearly, bounty hunters and Star Citizen are a little more picky with the guild than, say, the Star Wars bounty hunters, who are scum, for the most part. Headquartered in New York City, Earth, the Sol System. Founded 2387, the leader is Kristen Sabatka, the president. Area of operation, United Empire of Earth. Focus, service union, training, and certification. And it's got the catchy logo here, and that's probably the same for all the possible guild things. Okay, we are at a stop. I'm going to kill the engines. And now we're going to do the long-awaited Merlin. Now you see the lighting in here is also different. It's got a much warmer lighting in here than it used to have. It's also pretty bright.
Attention. I have been authorized to scan your vehicle for security purposes. Please hold your vehicle and stand by.
Roy, person security's coming to scan me out here.
Right. Everything checks out. Easy now.
Yeah, it was a good thing for you that I was in the process of moving around here. I wonder what would happen if I was being scanned, but I detached and flew off. Wonder what would happen. Feels like something worth mad scientist on somewhere online. Okay, enter pilot seat. Now this is going to be good because I haven't actually read anything on how to do any of this stuff, so this is likely to be entertaining in all kinds of horrible ways. Power is on.
Your adventure, courtesy of Kruger Intergalactic. Systems active.
Okay, now the next trick is, how do you detach? Can I communicate with my ship? I cannot. Nope, someone's flying by. Oh, it must be for some security. Engines on? No, I just turned them off. Now this is what happens when you don't do your proper research before starting everything up. No, firing the weapons are doing no good. Surely there is a method to detach from the ship. And surely it has to do with a key somewhere. So why don't we get really desperate? What's this down here? Well, open exterior is just going to open up the canopy. And that's not what I want to do at all. Close canopy. Well, when you're backed into a corner, there's only one thing you can do. Go to options and see if the key bindings have anything helpful. Let's see what we've got. Could be N. That's how you do auto land. That would be reasonable. Da, 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 da. It's not going to be in the number keys, unlikely. It's not going to be in the F keys, also unlikely. Certainly not the backspace key, because that would be insane. I won't rule out insanity, but N feels like it might be the way to go. Let's see what happens.
Begin launch sequence.
That was it. I am now free to navigate. So I have taken my Merlin here. Decoupled it from my vessel, which I've gotten a little more distance from than I thought I would. You'll also notice that the chat is available in my third-person view now. I can, of course, get rid of it the same way I have ordinarily by hitting the F12 key. So, you know, good times. But now the question comes, okay, I've gotten out of the ship, and I'm flying around, and I'm doing what I'm doing. Yay me! Now, how the heck do I get back in the ship? Well, if the Andromeda is your ship, it shouldn't be too difficult. The challenges come, you do have an extra step if it belongs to somebody else, however. If someone else is flying the ship, or is the owner of the ship, you do have to communicate with it to ask for docking permissions. But this is my ship, so I should not have to ask permission. But I do need to basically get myself in position to land. Although land really is the wrong term. So we're going to make an approach here on the back end here. Now somewhere along the line there's supposed to be a heads-up display that comes up. That should make life easier, maybe. Let's turn on our light. I honestly have no idea if I'm on the right... Nope, am I on the right side? I don't think I'm on the right side. I think I have to flip around. Yeah, there we go. I was going upside down. Story of my life, right? Now here's the thing though, because I cannot really see.
Landing gear deployed.
No, that ain't it.
Landing gear raised.
Maybe I do have to hail it. Let's see what happens if I look at my list here. No, I still don't see the constellation on here. So clearly I need to do something. Oops, that's not do that. Yeah, nothing like learning off the School of Hard Knocks, right? Oh, no, 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 that wasn't what I wanted to do. Good thing my ship isn't moving. Otherwise, this would get awfully embarrassing awfully quick. I want back in my ship. Is that too much to ask? There we go. Enter pilot seat. All right. So we have ourselves a little bit of a problem. I want to redock in the ship. N is how I did it before, but I obviously don't have it now. So clearly there is a step missing here. Maybe I have to target it? Couldn't hurt. Well, could hurt, but... There's supposed to be some kind of interface that pops up at some point. But I thought you had to hail or do something to get it to come up. But I am not seeing it. So let's go back to the options list and see if there's anything helpful here that could possibly shed some light. Let's see. Flight movement. Is there anything that says dock? It's not the landing system. Probably. Dock view? Okay, let's try that out, eh?
Shields disengaged.
No, that was not it.
Shields active.
Those lights are causing me problems now, so we'll turn off the headlights. Oh, okay. So I gotta be in the right position to hit the landing gear stuff. And now you see this aligned part. And that square has a lot to do with it. You want to get the two squares lined up. Now, undoubtedly, this will look a lot better when you had enough practice on this and you know what you're doing. Oh wait, maybe it's the dots I have to align on. Okay, so the dots are apparently related here. This is something I'll have to practice a bit. And just like that, I'm back on the Andromeda, having taken my little shuttle flight out. And I can get back in the flight deck and fly away. So this is a big deal because being able to do ship-to-ship docking, this opens up a lot of potential. It opens up a lot of gameplay loops that don't exist yet, or at least it's a big step towards them. The Starfarer, in order to refuel in space with the Starfarer, if you want to refuel another ship, it has to be able to dock with it somehow. Salvaging might have similar stuff. Those. We have ship-to-station docking that is on the way. It didn't come in with 13. It did not come in with 3.13. But it is on the list to come out at an incremental patch before 3.14. Before Pi. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of references to that when the time comes. Okay, so let's see what happens if we continue our work on bounty hunting. We've got a bounty hunter contractor evaluation from Hurston. So we're going to take that mission because, well, I'm here at Hurston. It would be silly for me to grab something elsewhere. And it is over at Magda. Although I can't seem to get my route set properly, so we'll just have to go to Magda first and go from there. Oh yeah, engine's back on now. Now I do want to point out that, in case it isn't insanely obvious, it is more difficult to dock with a moving ship. I'm sure it could be done, but the ship that's moving has got to be moving in a really straight line. And they've really got to be doing a whole lot of things right. Otherwise, at least one of these ships will blow up when you try to do it. Probably the Merlin, because it's tiny. Okay, now that we've done that, now can I get myself to the target location? Yes, I can. Now, you can see there's another glitch going on here. I'm seeing my ladder, some sort of ladder stuff over here that is like 21 million kilometers away and closing. I don't know what that's about. Alright, let's blow up the target, and then we'll see if Delphi has any updates on that. Which I do expect there should be. But first, we need to find the target. The target seems to be hiding. So we know the target is in this vicinity, but he has yet to arrive. So it looks like we're back to having some bounties that are taking their sweet old time getting here for. Rude. Alrighty, let's see if there's anything else here in Delphi. Look at the dossier. Okay, so how about my skyline? Oh, my contract manager, and we'll check the personal tab and see if there's anything for. Okay, we don't have anything from Vaughn yet, which is the opposite number, shall we say, of the Bounty Hunters Guild. Incidentally, I'll point out something else that's new, or at least semi-new. We have new cargo missions, specifically quantum-sensitive cargo missions. Basically what this means is you pick up a shipment of something that you cannot go into quantum travel to deliver. If you do, it blows up. What the heck just happened there? Oh, I just had a close encounter with floating debris. Let's get away from here. Up, and apparently I'm losing parts now. Losing parts, and I have a bounty that still hasn't shown up. Oh, what just happened? Okay, there we go. He finally showed up. And I can see I'm going to need to do some repairs very soon. Annoying, but such is life. Losing that part is not going to be good. That's one of my VTOLs. And, well, losing the VTOL is a good way to have trouble landing in an atmosphere. Oh, hi, bad guy. Bye, bad guy. Yes, he is. Okay, since I'm here on Magda, we're going to land on Magda and repair there. It has a lighter gravity, so it should be easier to land the ship there. It's also possible that if we're really lucky, I'll be able to show off something else that's available now. But I'd kind of like to land on the light side if I can. But that doesn't look like it's going to happen. Well, maybe. This does seem like it's on the other side, but it still looks like it might be the night side anyway. It's not like I have any better offers being made. You'll also notice that the chat has changed a bit as well. It's got a different font and different positioning. I'm of two minds on that. Okay, good news is it does seem to be the lighter side. But I don't know if this means it's getting darker or if it's getting lighter. And I am still put in mind of the fact that there are people who are complaining about the elevators murdering them, so... Maybe they were messing with the cargo elevators. I wonder if that's the elevator we're talking about. Now, a smart man would not be playing mad scientist to find out. But I am somewhat off my rocker in that respect, so I will probably try to lower the cargo elevator at some point. That doesn't sound good, does it? Let's take a look at the ship. Oh, no, it's not as bad off as I thought it might be. I mean, I am still missing the front part of my VTOL, but everything else looks like it's still attached. But man, it sure sounds like there's something loose rattling, doesn't it? Hopefully you can hear it. I tend to have the volume a little bit reduced in the game so my voice is easier to hear in the middle of a fight, but sometimes it don't work the way I expect it to work. Yeah, everything seems attached. I'm not missing an engine. Not missing any guns. Nothing is missing. Now, if I were smart, I would activate the quantum drive just to see the distance between me and HDMS Perlman. But why would I start doing something like that now? Well, I gotta be getting relatively close to the ground because now I'm detecting rocks. Well, actually, I know how close I am to the ground because altimeter is telling me I'm a little over 1.5 kilometers up. It's not my vertical that I'm interested in, it's my horizontal. Speaking of which, let's drop the landing gear. And we're going to kick on the lights too. Although it does seem a little foggy out. They did a pass on the planets to get in moons again, so I think I'm going to have to go to Daymar at some point to try to find the Javelin wreck again because the landmarks have probably changed again. Oh, I'm kind of tilting. Okay, I'm going to cut the engines, go on manual control. I'm going to try to go for the larger pad. This might fit on the smaller pad, but I'd rather not take the chance. Now, there's another complaint that's been going on lately. Now, I'll show it in a moment. I just want to get myself down and out, so to speak. Alright, let's lower ourselves a little bit. Lower. Try to get the auto land to kick. There we go. Didn't make any vocals, but job is done. Let's see if we can get the repair systems working. Repair! Excellent. Oh, you all notice that the Adelphi has that exclamation point again. So let's take a look. And look, we've had some improvement here. I'm now seeing my status in the guild. I am a probationary guild member, so I got the access to the training permits. I've got a suspect apprehension permit available. I got fugitive recovery available. So clearly I have moved on up. And you'll see a little nudge here for my affinity standing. Presumably, the higher in green it goes, the higher I go up on my chain here. You'll also see that I've got a thing for Hurston Security, which gives me no perks here, but I'm an associate contractor. As I get higher reputation, once I get to being a senior contractor, I'll get paid an extra 5%, operative an extra 10, advanced for another 15, and elite at 20% bonuses. Not bad, right? So what about the big Bounty Hunter Guild? What happens there? Well, I get a permit for beginner, permit for journeyman, license for the advanced. Basically, these are the ones that are giving me the ability to go after more dangerous targets. Still no contacts. Alright, let's see. Let's turn off the engines for a moment and step outside, and we're going to take a quick look around. I'm not sure if I'm going to find what I'm looking for here, but I'd like to have a chance. Oh, one more thing. You'll notice that my O2 tank has dropped a bit, but now it's going up. Apparently, if you go in your pilot seats lately, it eats up your fuel, your oxygen. So there seems to be a little something weird going on with the O2 level stuff. From walking around in the constellation here, at least, it's going back up. But it's not going way too fast, so it's not like you have to really, really worry unless you're spending a whole lot of time in a fighter. Okay, we have not blown up. Now, one of the little things that seems to, well, it seems to be a thing, I don't know where they're located, is basically a very, very, very different kind of ground vehicle, because technically speaking, it's not a ground vehicle. Let's see. Let me see if it's in here. I don't know if it'll be in here. And yes, I did say in here. Because the vehicle I am speaking of are trolleys. You know, what do they sell in here? Maybe I can buy something, load up on my Andromeda. Yeah, load something up and then lose the money for it because it's... Okay, I'll take the 24 diamonds. It's only 15,000. It won't break my bank. Because it would be dead embarrassing to spend 200,000 credits and then suddenly find out, why do I have 2 million credits? Last I checked, I had maybe 1.5 million. I haven't done anything that hardcore lately. Wonder if someone's been sneaking some cash in my wallet lately. I know I did a mining mission recently with some of my org members, but I thought that was already taken care of. I've already accounted for that. Okay, so I was hoping that somewhere around these areas I would find the trolley. But it's possible that I have to be in an actual hangar to do so. Certainly not on the landing pad here. And if it's not on the landing pad here, it's certainly not going to be on the landing pad over here. I was hoping I could jump high enough to get on there, but low gravity does not mean no gravity. Alright. Time for mad science. Let's open up the cargo bay, and let's get some distance just in case everybody's right and it does cause ships to explode. Okay, well, that was anticlimactic, wasn't it? My cargo is all nice and neat in here. Fills up a whole row in here. I didn't really expect it to oh, maybe not all of it. Okay, so I can get on board from here as well. Let's see. Where are we hiding the control panel? Probably on the exact opposite side, because that's just the way my luck tends to run. Nope, it's right here. And we will just rise on board the ship. Okay, this is the one I want to do. Handy fact: if you're flying a constellation and you lose track of where the front is, section B through A is towards the bridge. Sections C through D is back towards the Merlin. That's one of those little touches that are worth mentioning. So, if I need to go to a hangar to see the trolley. Then to a hangar we will go. And since I have some cargo on board the ship, I believe we are going to take our next stop to Lorville. Let's get speed up a little bit. And once we've gotten another kilometer up, I should be able to set course. No, not Edmund. Lorville. No, not Calthrop. Lorville. Yes, there we are. If I'm lucky, Lorville will be on the lighted side of the planet. Now, the reason I didn't go to Lorville directly, trying to land on Lorville with a constellation missing half of its VTOL, I have had horrible deaths result trying to do that. And while it's certainly entertaining to watch me spin into a horrible nosedive, which ends predictably, I don't want to do that. And worse luck, I think we are going to be on the wrong side of the planet. I might be lucky, but it doesn't look that lucky. You'll see in chat, people are complaining about not being higher than 500,000 or 1 million. But it is certainly possible if you go to my YouTube channel and look up the videos that are listed as the Aurora MR Challenge, you will see how I did it. Spoiler alert, the ship I'm flying in now had a lot to do with it. At least the rented version. It does seem we are on the light side after all, despite my considerable fears on that respect. So let's make our approach. Right now, my belief is that doing the bounty hunting thing is the best way to make income, especially once you start getting those group bounties from North Rock. Mining used to be the big one. It depends a lot on the ship you're flying or what you're doing. You gotta have a bit of luck going in your direction on that one, though. Now, I did find out recently that my missing mining laser on the Prospector seemed to have come back. That was before the patch landed, so at some point I might have to check to see if my Prospector still has the mining lasers available. Alright, killing the cruise control and working my way towards the opening hangar doors. Being that we are talking about Hurston, there's every possibility they're going to slam the doors shut before I land. Because the hangar operators at Lorville are jerks. And that's the nice way of putting it, actually. There is other language I could use, but I will attempt to be family friendly. Alright, let's start leveling off a little bit. Get the VTOLs active. And let's see if I can get myself in before they start slamming those doors. Because again, Hurston Dockmasters are jerks. How about that? Oop. Looks like I banged into the lip. That's what happens when you try to be clever. But the auto land seems to be working as it should, so. Let's see. We're going down nice and gentle. Okay, we're turning everything off and getting out of here. I gotta sell off the cargo. Again, we have a lot better lighting than we used to on our power off. It used to be just pitch black in here, but now we at least have emergency lighting going on. Still no explosions. That's good. Alright, let's take a look around here and see if we can find the trolley. My understanding is that trolleys would be, you know, I didn't think that would be something I could operate. Are supposed to be in the hangars. But I have not yet seen them. To be fair, I have also not yet been looking for them. The trolleys are, incidentally, the first demonstration we have of the push-pull logic in the game, where you can push things around, pull them around, and I'm hoping to be able to demonstrate that at some point here. But in order to demonstrate that, I need to actually, you know, find one. No, I thought this was the exit, but maybe it... Huh. No, I'm just mistaken. I'm just mistaken. Ooh, heavy cargo. Maybe this would be it. No. It's perfectly possible that whatever trolleys exist have already been grabbed by people because, you know, hilarity ensues. And I'd kind of wondered about that myself. But so far, I am not seeing anything that indicates where I would find a trolley. And this disappoints me. It really does. Because that is one of the advertised additions to the game. And, well, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Well, I guess there is something else I can try. Let me take a quick second and poke my nose onto my web browser. Sadly, I do at least have a decent view being shown there. So while I'm fiddling around on here, you're not staring at a wall. You at least have my ship being shown here. What I want to see is something on here. Two ships, your part. That will make me expand everything on here. Visual improvements. I'm just going through the list of possibilities on here, and I'm coming up with Upkis, actually. I am not finding anything involving the trolley. I mean, I know it came in, but I was looking at their main web page to see the new features of, well, you know what? Instead of forcing people to stare into space at my picture there, let's simply swap over to my browser, and we can go over it together. we've already demonstrated the ship-to-ship docking with the Merlin and the Constellation, which will pave the way to ship-to-station, which will be on deck sometime in the next couple of months, I believe. They've done something with the shields, gives visual makeover. I know it hasn't looked like it since nobody's really hit me too hard yet. That's what happens when you're going against wimpy bounties. And you'll see impact zone, you'll see if it's getting red, if it's getting low, and I guess that'll be visible to the people shooting at you as well, so that'll be a big thing. There's a mining thing. You've got the new Grey Cat Rock DS available for purchase on the RSI store. I like to think of it as Lord Humongous's version of the Grey Cat Rock. You basically have Lord Humongous sitting in the cabin climate-controlled driver's seat, and then you've got the guy chained to the front that's exposed to the elements, doing the mining work. It's somewhat evil. I approve. You also have a new Tumbril Cyclone MT, which is basically it's got ground weapons and anti-aircraft. It's basically 2 Cyclones in one. I pointed out the reputation system. There's a new license and registration where there are a number of ships, the Mercury, the 600i, the 890 Jump, the Hammerhead, the Reclaimer, and the Carrack, which you can now see the names on your ship. You can do this through the RSI website. You go to your hangar. If you have one of these ships, you can select it to give it a name, and if it hasn't already been taken for that ship, there it is. So, for example, if you have an Anri's Revenge, nobody else can take Anri's Revenge on a Crusader Mercury, but they can take it on, say, the 600i. And then nobody else will be able to take it for the 600i. So, there is some flexibility going on here. You've got new missions, first-person cave and delivery missions. That's something I hope to mess with somewhere along the line, but maybe not immediately because my ammo supply is a little low right now. New cargo, I pointed out the quantum-sensitive ones. There's also a time delivery ones that are going to be out there. Speaking of caves, some of them are big enough now that you can fit even small ships as well as vehicles. What that will be like, don't know. You know as much as I do. I haven't really monkeyed with some of this stuff. The patch just landed yesterday? Day before? It's recent. There have been some improvements on Stanton, some of the asteroids, some of the moons, some of the worlds. I haven't really looked too hard at those yet. Force reactions, so you can stagger around. Things happen when you're on a ship and things are happening. Hello there, Red Bear One. How are you doing this afternoon? Hope all is well on your side of the monitor. I'm just doing a quick run through here of some of the new things that are listed in 3.13. Doing fine. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Got some new mining components, which will do something for the mining lasers. Ships will show wear and tear, so if you manage to keep your ship alive for an extended period of time, it'll go from looking nice and neat to dinged up and dirty. Now, for those people who hate dinged up and dirty, I do believe that gets fixed. Well, yeah, it says it right here. They get fixed to as new when you do a repair. And that is pretty much all of it. They talk about some paints and all that you can get at the RSI store, but the thing I haven't seen in here are the trolleys. I could swear that I saw in the patch note that it put down the trolleys for the push and pull, but maybe they're not doing that for this patch. Or more likely, I just haven't found them. They can buy Wife 1.0 from the Pledge store to clean their ships. Just kidding. Yeah, that would be a good way to get on the bad side of the Wife. Wife comes with her own Arclight pistol, which she will use to empty into your head. Maybe on this side. I know, I'm getting desperate for the trolleys now. No. Okay, so wherever the trolleys are hiding, heaven only knows. If they're even in the game, I will find them at some point. Yeah, something like that. Don't antagonize the wife. She will hunt you down and make you pay. Now, all that said, I know that there was somebody on, I think it was on Reddit maybe, who had a comment about one spouses and the amount of money being pledged into Star Citizen, where it was recommended that each of these ships, especially the expensive ones, should have an additional $15 add-on available, where they will send you a receipt for something other than a ship that you have just bought online. I guess you'll be smarter if you use credit card 2.0 to pledge for some more shoes or something. Well, you know, we all have the things we like. Some people like shoes. Some people like internet starships. Hey, is that one of the trolleys? Is that one of the trolleys I can interact with? No, that would have been too easy. I should have known better because it had luggage. Well, since we're here in Lorville, we're going to take another brief stop before I dump off the cargo. Oh, okay. Is that so? There is a trolley here. Someone just commented on being murdered by one. It's probably best not to ask. That is true. That is indeed true. Because one of the things that they did not mention in the big list that we just went through. Oh my god. I can't believe it. Let's do this. There we go. Still staring at the browser. Ugh. Yeah, this is why I don't do streaming full time. Well, that plus, you know, actual job. Because I can never keep track of where the heck I've got my stream scenes running. And we've got a guy who's already here at the terminal. Grrr. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to sell off the cargo first and come back. I almost made him pledge. Saved by the bell. But like I always say, only thing you really need to pledge for is the minimum starship package. You just need an Aurora MR, although you could do the Mustang, but I recommend the Aurora. And you can get just about every ship currently flyable in the game by getting the credits. I spent 10 streams of 2 hours in duration each, proving that I could go from the Aurora MR to enough credits to purchase a Cutlass Black. And I was hardly being efficient about it. So, anyone who tells you that you need to pledge hundreds of dollars to do anything in this game, they are completely wrong. It does give you a leg up. I'll give them that much. But if you really want to get an 890 jump luxury yacht, you don't have to pledge $900 some on the Rsi store. You can buy it in the game. Yeah, at the moment it's not hard to get credits. Absolutely right. If you do bounty hunting, that will get you credits pretty fast. If you are pretty good at mining, Quantanium has a pretty decent return. Trading is still forked though. But it won't always be. Then again, it would also be silly to think that the prices you see on anything in the game, it's probably a fluid thing. It is not the final configuration. I expect things to become more expensive, honestly. Either that or they'll nerf the earnings down dramatically. But that's not something they're going to really worry too much about now, because this is still an alpha and who cares? Little things like the economy and all that, that's something they'll fine tune as they go along. Kind of weird that Quantanium is so expensive when you sell it, but when you have to refuel, it's dirt cheap. Maybe they're making it up in volume. Maybe it's a loss leader. No, that doesn't sound right either. Maybe it's a smaller quantity. I mean, you're selling all these SCU of fuel, but you really don't know how much Quantanium is actually filling up your ship. Hey, Fiendy! How are you doing this afternoon? I am indeed on the train. on the world of Hurston in the city of Lorville, getting ready to sell some cargo. I basically grabbed the cargo because I was doing my best to see if the elevators would explode on the ship. A recent patch just came out, the 3.13 patch, and there have been a couple people who have been saying that when they lowered the elevators in their Andromeda starships, or any of their Constellation starships, they have been causing them to explode. And I wanted to see if that would happen to me. It did not. So, I'm guessing chances are they were trying to lower the elevator on something other than level ground. Yeah, wow indeed. These are the little surprises that happen when you're dealing with an alpha. Weird things happen. And I know they're looking to do more elevator stuff in the future where the elevators will recognize how far down they can go and they'll do something about that, but it isn't happening. That's true, even on the Banu and the MSR I had it twice, but not on Pat. Wait, you had those ships explode on the ground when you were lowering ramps? Was that it? Because that's a little more intimidating. Let's sell the diamond. Diamond. Well, that's a nervous feeling there, Red Baron. That's a little worrisome. Alright, we've sold off the cargo. Let's try to get back to the new deal, and hopefully the guy is away from the terminal there now so that I can actually do what I was intending to do in the first place. Just out of curiosity, how's my oxygen levels? Good. At least on the planet, my oxygen is still fine. One of the things that has also been mentioned a lot lately, and it seems to be happening, yeah, it seems to be safe when landing on a pad. So far, that seems to be the case. Some people who are in their cockpits are discovering that their cockpits no longer have oxygen. And worse yet, having your helmets on isn't, well, okay, it is helping. You're just using the helmet oxygen. But it doesn't matter if you're in a ship like the MSR or the Constellation. Hey, Legend, how are you doing this afternoon? Hope things are well on your side of the monitor. As you can see, I am indeed in Lorville. I was just getting rid of some cargo, and I'm getting ready to stop at the new deal to take a look at some of the new arrivals. At least, I will if somebody isn't standing in front of the terminal again. We'll find out shortly. Because there are some ships that I want to take a look at, and more importantly, take a look at how much they cost. Doing good, excellent, all good. I've basically been fiddling around with a couple of the new things in 3.13. I've taken a look at the Constellation and done a undock and redock the Merlin Parasite ship to it. I've tried to explode the Constellation by lowering its elevators on a landing pad, because I've been hearing that elevators seem to be causing some problems lately on the ground. And according to the Red Bear one there, that seems to be a problem with the MSR. Let's see, the MSR costs exactly what we guessed it would. Yeah, that does not shock me at all. That does not shock me at all. The one I'm interested in seeing, though, is where the Nomad fits in all of this. The Consolidated Nomad is basically the Ford pickup truck of Star Citizen, from the way it was demoed, shall we say, during the expo back in November. I flew it around a bit. I wasn't exactly impressed enough to pledge for it or anything like that, but if the price is right in credits, I'd certainly be willing to give it a shot. Legend is guessing 2.1 mil. I'm going to go with 1.7. Yeah, there you go. That's my guess right there, Legend, because it feels like it would be more expensive than a Cutlass Black, maybe. Actually, I take it back. I can't see it being is it more expensive than a Cutlass Black. I'm going to go with 1.1 million. That said, I've thrown out so many possibilities that any one of them could be correct. I could say, hey, I was right. I'm a nasty cheater that way. The one thing that I was hoping to try out, the Cutlass Black is 1.4 million. Demonstrated when I was doing my Aurora MR challenge. What I've been unable to find, however, which really drives me nuts, are the trolleys. I know they're around. I just haven't found them. You're standing firm at 1.7. I'm going to go with the 1.1. We shall see. As long as there isn't somebody still at the bloody terminal. I mean, I went all the way back and sold some cargo. If they're still at the terminal, then they're the most indecisive human beings on the planet. They are the most indecisive beings on the planet. Well, guess what? It's time to be rude. No, that's not mobiGlass. I suppose I could always just, you know, go to a different server. And this is why I've always complained about New Deal and push them. Well, you know, thank you. I can read at this angle. Okay, Consolidated Outland. Nomad, way less than either of us thought. 952,000. 952,000. Man, did we swing and miss on that one. Mercury, a hair under 5 million. That feels about right. Banu. Are they on here? I don't see Banu. So I guess we'll have to go to ArcCorp for that one. And the Cyclone MT is not available yet. Okay, I've seen what I wanted to see on here. I was closer there. I didn't think it would be as much as the Cutlass Black. Because the Nomad is less armed, and the cargo is probably, well, maybe a little less. So it felt like it would be less expensive. Alright. So let's go to ArcCorp and see if the other ships are there. And what I'll do is I'm going to take one of the ships that has the names attached to it. Let me think. Have I done? No, I haven't done. We're going to grab the Carrack. No. Actually, that was a mistake. That's not the one. That's not the one I want to pull up. Yeah, close back down. We're going to grab the 600i. Talon, he's guessing 1.2 million, the alien tax. I could see that. Plus, it is arguably the best light fighter in the game right now. So, equipment matters. I wonder if they've added anything to the rental shop. We'll just take a quick glance. That said, I'm only going to wait so long to take that quick glance. Yes, I know I could have bought the Nomad right now, but I'm still undecided. Plus, I want to see how much the Talon costs. Okay, so much for the rentals. I am not waiting forever for that thing. I am notoriously impatient. See, Talon was 788, is a beast, but the wings are the Achilles heel. Yes, I have heard you speak of the problems with the Talon wings on a number of occasions. Apparently, for those who are unfamiliar, the wings of the Talon are about as fragile as toothpicks. They snap off with almost no provocation. I suspect that if you look at them harshly, they will break off. Alright, let's get on board. Rise, rise! And actually, now that I think about it, there's something else I want to try here too. Now, since I am on the 600i, there is another feature that has not been big. I mean, it doesn't get shown off on the big 3.13 page, but is a pretty big deal otherwise. To do this, however, I'm going to first need to get out of here. And we're going to take a little bit of a pit stop before we go to Arcor.
Origin shipports at your service. Core system operational.
Step 1. Let me out! Let me out! Yeah, made of glass those wings are. But in most other ways, the Talon seems to be a vicious fighter. Everyone I've heard who's flown it has been highly impressed by it. And it seems to put the Arrow and the Gladius on a lower shelf, shall we say. Now, granted, again, everything can and probably will change as the alpha goes on, but that's where things stand right now. Yes, Legend there is obviously a fan. Okay, now once we're up
Gear raised.
and we're rising, we're just going to do a quick turnaround here. That's right, everybody. The 600i is officially named on my ships the Hyperion Star. Named for, shall we say, a notable supergroup in the City of Heroes game that I was associated with for quite some time. I couldn't get Hyperion, sadly, but Hyperion Star does feel like the kind of thing you'd want to see in a luxury-feeling ship. Now you can see we've got some of those ridge lines. It looks like it's already getting some wear and tear, and it didn't take much time at all. Need a new paint job. That said, though, it's a lot more readable on this ship than I've seen the lettering on some of the other ships so far. Now you'll also notice on the underside here, and let me zoom in a little bit on that, that each ship will also have its own serial number, which is assigned by the game. So this is the J7-70008-ZD. So it's the unique identifier for this starship, no matter what name it may have. Okay, let's see. I think if I want to go here, I'm going to go to... No, not Adlai. Adlai's in trouble. No, not that either. Where's Edmund? There's Edmund. We're going to do a quick landing over at Edmund. And you know what? I probably didn't have to wait this long to... Oh, I probably did have to wait this long. I do still need to be a certain height in the atmosphere before I can activate the quantum drive. And I still want to know where the heck those trolleys are, dagnabbit. I didn't find one in the hangar that I landed in. I don't think I'll find one down here either, but, you know, we'll see. Okay, let's set my destination again so I can have the marker there that tells me where I'm going. Otherwise, I'm likely to find myself way off course. Let's see if I can kick up my speed a little bit here. I don't want to take forever to get down there. One of the things I like about Edmund is that it's got a pretty close proximity to one of the seas on Hurston. Ooh, network intrusion. Somebody's being bad somewhere. I'm just curious. ECN alert, network intrusion, 192. Okay, that's definitely nearby. That's around this area. Oh, well, yes, Legend. Looks like Legend managed to sneak the understanding of some of the things that have happened in the chat here. Yes, I have reached 50 plus followers. Mostly in part, I think, due to a couple of raids by Cryptic Studios, the folks who make Star Trek Online. They raided my channel not once, but 2 weeks in a row, and that got a number of followers attached. How many of them stuck around? Well, you know, that's always a question mark. But that is the reason why I have hit the 50 follower mark. And as for the whole affiliate thing, well, I think I might have mentioned once or twice that I'm not all that in love with the idea of doing the affiliate thing due to headaches. That's the short version. Never do something that makes you feel like a job, especially if it doesn't pay very well. My real job definitely pays very well, which is why I can, you know, lose a lot of money in Star Citizen. But trying to do a long-term Twitch streaming thing, not so much. Still nice for people to show appreciation. Well, you know, the way I see it, if the people are showing up on the stream, saying hello, chatting, or even just watching in the background, that's good enough for me, honestly. I had no great ambitions when I started streaming. It was just something I wanted to do while I was dealing with the pandemic. I wanted to at least keep the social skills somewhat alive. And I feel that it's done that, and I hope to have been at least somewhat entertaining for people. Let's see if I get myself in for a landing. I got the auto land running. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Let's reset my view. Seems to be having trouble. There we go. And landing. Now, the question is, why did Korath come all the way here to HDMS Edmund? It wasn't for the view, that's for certain. I mean, granted we do have a nice ocean over there, but seriously, why would I come here? Another network intrusion. I wonder if that's the same one or if it's another one. Someone's going hog wild around Hurston, I think. Let's take a look at my ECN alerts again. No, it looks like it's the same one. I don't know. But I shall find out. I should stream Sea of Thieves on one of your variety days. You are really, really trying to get me to get a hold of that game, aren't you? I have plenty of things going on here that I have trouble keeping up with as it is. Okay, I think that's where I want to go. You see, one of the little... Wow. Wow. Talk about littered. All these rocks and bits of loose metal. I don't recall this stuff being lying around here. It looks like the the pass they did on these planets has encompassed the garbage-like nature of Hurston. I feel like I'm walking in a dump. Okay, as I was saying, one of the big problems that Star Citizen's had over the last so many odd months or years is cargo elevators. And it's not so much getting the cargo in the elevators, it's getting vehicles in the elevators. They would clip through the bottom, they would fall out, they would crash, they would do all sorts of horrible things. But popular rumor says they fixed that. So we are going to put that to the test. We are going to grab, decisions. We're going to grab my my Tumbril Cyclone TR. Good thing about ship Thieves is there's no progression as far as your character's ability goes, so you can hang with people that play every day and be competitive. Maybe not as many cosmetics. Oh, I wouldn't lose sleep over that one. Cosmetics are, well, as you might expect, they're nice, but you know, one can live without them. In fact, this game is a pretty good example. I mean, I don't have any special armor for the most part, with the exception of this helmet that I picked up during something. I think it was during the Origin G12 sale. I think they put those out on. And pick it up and put it down when you want without falling behind. Well, you know, that was basically my opinion on doing Valheim right there. Something that could basically be the beer and pretzels kind of game. I did manage to take out boss number 4. Motor is no longer with us in my game I've been doing, so now I just have to deal with surviving those terrifying furlings. I've been working on upgrading equipment. Okay, I like to drive the tumbrils in third person because, well, it's a little easier for me to see where I'm going. Now the next challenge is get around far enough to find where I parked. Here we go. Oh, little too much English there. Okay, I need to adjust my speed on here. Where's my brakes? Where's my speed limiter? Okay, I'll stop here for a moment because I need to open up the cargo elevator. Legend has a little outpost in the plains where he's growing barley and flax. Well, that's because you've been spending all your time in Legend of Sea of Thieves. Okay, cargo. I swear I was able to... Ah! I'm an idiot! Ah! This is a 600i Touring. It doesn't have a cargo elevator. Oh! An otherwise brilliant plan ruined by ugly reality. Oh, I did it to myself. Sympathies has gone a long way since the last time you played. Well, you know, if they keep developing stuff, you expect improvement. Yeah, duh, indeed. I am just banging my head. Sorry, Cyclone, I don't need you anymore. Bye. Oh well, that was just a little bit embarrassing, wasn't it? I should have stuck with the Andromeda. Quick, erase the last 10 minutes of the stream. Nobody saw that, right? And this is what happens when you take the luxury variant and not the exploration variant.
Engines active.
I hide my face in shame.
Launch complete.
Okay, hardcore. We will erase the humiliation of the last 10 minutes and find out how much some of those other ships cost. Yes. Oh, that reminds me. Yeah, that's a good point. I was supposed to have something else running in the background here, and I didn't do it. That's embarrassing. Let me hop over here. Because if you can't shill for yourself, who can you shill for? Da, 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 da. Go here. Click, and we'll see if that works later. Thank you. I do. Yes, anyone who's new who hasn't already followed me and has not been horrified by everything they've seen so far, or if you're horrified in a good way, please go ahead and hit the follow. I do Star Citizen every Saturday afternoon. I do Star Trek Online every Wednesday evening. And sometimes I do shall we say, out of cycle streams for various reasons. For example, as you may have noticed by looking at the title of the stream today, this week has been my 1 year Streamiversary. I've been streaming, as far as I can tell, for 1 year now. So I've done a little bit more streaming than I usually do. I did an extra stream on Thursday night where I was continuing the Delta Challenge. That's been something that's going on with some Star Trek Online streamers, and I will probably do that again tonight as well. And I occasionally do other out of cycle streams. I did a one for Valheim a little while back. I may yet do that again somewhere along the line. Of course, there's only 5 or 6 billion people streaming Valheim, so, you know, no hurry. Area 18. Yeah, I try to be at least moderately entertaining. Try to find things that are interesting to watch, interesting to do. I spent a good 10 weeks doing the Aurora MR challenge, where I basically took the Aurora MR starter ship with starter equipment and earned my way to a Cutlass Black in-game to show that, yes, it can be done, and therefore it's something that you can extend further to getting the really impressive ships in the game. Granted, it would probably take longer, but, you know, you would expect it to take longer. That being a pledge for the minimum pledge is a viable method of play in this game. I've also done other mildly crazy things, and you can probably see some of them on my YouTube archive. I've got a link in my channel page somewhere hiding. It might be more visible once the stream is offline, so... And it'll certainly be, well, if you do a search for Faces of the Ranger on YouTube, you'll find it. So, Arc Core, and it occurs to me that I did not put in the good quantum drive on this ship, so it's probably taking longer than it really needs to. For those who have never actually seen the 600i touring vessel, let's take a quick tour. By the time I get done, we should arrive at Arc Core. Got some escape pods here that don't yet work. Someday, someday. We have a number of guest quarters. Nothing fancy. It's got a bathroom, shower, and bed. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, it looks like. And we have a nice little lounge downstairs. Take a look at that momentarily. Going further back, let's see, with a differential of about 200k, would I get the Nomad or save longer for the Cuddy as a new player? Honestly, I think that I would probably go with the Cutlass. Even though it is manufactured by those people at Drake who do nothing but create garbage. Okay, you know, that's just my usual prejudices kicking in. We have a nice dining area here. The Nomad, it does, I just can't bring myself to fall in love with the Nomad. I mean, I like it well enough. It's a nice little ship. It reminds me of a pickup truck. If you like the aesthetic, it's worth going after. Best manufacturer ever. Oh, you're talking about Crusader, right? No, you must be talking about Misk. Got a little pool table back here. Doesn't work, of course. You like watching TV? Doesn't work, but hey, it's there. Back upstairs. Back upstairs. Go back this way, and we'll go down to the lounge. Now, this area would ordinarily be populated in the exploration variant by the cargo area that I tried to use. Drake for life. Bah! I need it. If I ever do get affiliate, I'm going to have a Drake logo with a circle crossed through it. Got the captain's quarters, or maybe the owner's quarters, depending on how you look at it. He's got his own restroom as well. Going further back. we'll just do a quick jog in the back here. And back here we've got the crew quarters, as well as their restrooms. And I want to say that these are supposed to be suit lockers, but they could be escape pods too. I'm not really sure. You know, I could have sworn I heard someone tell me that there were working weapons lockers on the 600i now. Calvin peeing on the Drake. No, I don't want to offend Bill Waterton. I liked his cartoons, and I wouldn't want him to be offended. So I understand that he's a little proprietary over the character as far as its look and such, how he's portrayed. And I would not dream of offending the man. That said, if I can find a cat taking a pee on it, that would be okay. Alright, let's go back upstairs. Maybe the gun locker's up there. I could have sworn I read somewhere that the 600i was sporting weapons lockers now. And if there's anything like the 890 Jumps weapon lockers, they're going to be kind of recessed, hidden in the walls. Of course, it's also possible that when they were talking about the 600 having them, it's possible they were talking about the exploration variant as opposed to the luxury variant. It's also possible that I'm looking in the complete wrong areas. Nothing here. Oh, hold on. Something just happened here. The weapon locker! There we are! Oh, suit armor. Well, suit armor, but it has weapons. I think we have a... Oh, yeah. I think we have a little bit of a mislabeling problem. And there we go. Now this one makes sense. Weapons armory. Hope he doesn't come to Texas. Every other pickup has Calvin peeing on either the Ford or Chevy logo. Oh, I think he recognizes, yeah, that the cat is... the genie is out of the model there. But all the same, I am doing my part. Same reason why I don't post up anything from the far side. And believe me, I was a big fan of the Far Side cartoons. Origin designers can't read. They also probably can't write either. Okay, let's get over back to the flight deck before I crash into the Arc Core. I just wanted to be able to find the weapon lockers. I found them. I'm satisfied. Yeah, I miss the Far Side too, but he did come out with his own website recently, so at least you can relive the entertainment now on a daily basis. The man was a genius. Now, I feel compelled to mention that we are probably going to be on the dark side of Arc Core, which means we're going to enjoy the magic of trying to find the spaceport in the dark. Oh, no, it's still on the light side. Well, okay, it's kind of light side. Okay, we're going to dusk, it looks like. Or maybe it's dawn. Oh, and I'm right above the spaceport. Oh, better yet. I don't have to do anything to find it. I'm practically pointed right at it. I'm not used to this. In fact, I'm usually don't arrive this close to it either. I wonder if they changed the beacon. I do want to try more practicing on the docking for the Andromeda and Merlin. I'm still not 100% sure how I managed to pull it off when I was docking with it again. So it's something I want to practice, because that's going to be a big deal when they do the ship-to-station docking. It always drops you on the other side of the area. Yeah, that's where it usually drops me too. It's usually other side, far away. It's like, okay, where's the flat arrowhead? Okay, let's get our docking bay. And let's hope the autopilot doesn't try to kill me here. If there is any reason to be truly terrified of Arc Core, and more importantly, terrified of Area 18. It's the fact that the folks who run the autopilot here like to gleefully throw your ship into buildings. I have died by autopilot more often at Arcor than anywhere else. It hasn't happened recently, though. I'm hoping not to end the streak today. Drop landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
And there's the doors, and they look like they're opening. And hopefully they're not being operated by the same people who operate Lorville. I won't rule it out, though. And we're on approach. I've killed the cruise control, dropping speed. I need to start leveling off, or otherwise bad things are going to happen. Oh good, restrict area, below. You see why the autopilot is so lethal here, because if you're off just even the littlest bit, bad things are going to happen to you. It's like the old board game of Operation. It takes a very steady hand. Okay, now's the time where I feel like I have to use the third-person view, because I just need to see. Alright, we are in. Level off.
Landing complete.
Oh, that's one way to level off. They were supposed to have fixed that in 3 out of 13, but autopilot grabbed last night right above the hangar. Never trust the autopilot people. Never. Alright, let's set everything off, and we'll take a quick look around the hangar and see if the trolley is in here. I mean, nobody goes to Area 18, right? I will get my hands on a trolley sooner or later. It's only a matter of time. I kept waiting to see if there would be a pledge for the trolley. Give some of the haters more fuel. Because I'd swear that I'd read somewhere that trolleys could be located in hangars. So here I am in a hangar. So now I want to find a trolley. I've yet to encounter one. I know they're in the game though, because apparently a trolley murdered somebody earlier today. I had to check to see if it was Cap. His vehicles tend to be homicidal. So far, no, those are just crate bottoms. Where they had the trolleys, where they had the trolleys. I mean, even if they had a terminal where you could pull out a trolley, that would work too. But so far, I have not seen any examples. Yeah, they're apparently a thing. They're in the game, but I have yet to see one. I suppose if I had done better research, I would probably have had that nailed down by now. But where's the fun in that? We've got a couple things that look like it could be, but this is obviously not a workable trolley because A, it's too big, and B, it's got cargo on it. Trolley should just be, standing alone out there somewhere. But I'll be dipped if I can figure out where they have them. I've done just about a full cycle around this hangar, and nothing has jumped out as being particularly trolley-like. And that is pretty much it, isn't it? I mean, we've got plenty of forklifts. Can't drive those. Yet. One day. Nothing in here. Whoops, I should take the steps.
We're sorry. You've exceeded the allotted time to depart. We will have to return your ship to storage.
Oh, be my guest. I have nothing in there that's
Initiating ship
too much of a
storage
problem.
procedure.
Go ahead and store it.
For your safety, please vacate the area. Thank
Although
you.
I admit I haven't quite vacated the area. Okay, so the quest for the trolley continues.
Initiating ship storage procedure. For your safety, please vacate the area. Thank
I
you.
will find you one day. It's only a matter of time. Okay. Goal here, going to the Astro Armada, and we're going to take a look at the other recent additions as far as starships go. We know the Nomad is available at Lorville. We know the Mercury is available at Lorville. But now it's time to take a look at the other side of the tracks, as it were. They sell no starships over at New Babbage. Is that? No, no. It's got cargo on it, so it's not workable trolley. They taunt me to throw these things in here just to see what I'll do. I'd have to scroll up my chat a bit to see about the guess on more. I think you were looking at 1.2-ish, but I'm not 100% sure. Cuddy. Talon, you predicted 1.2. So yes, you remember correctly. Well done. I will find this trolley someday. So we shall soon find out what the Asperia Talon goes for. As well as, let's see, there was more than just, was there another variant? I seem to recall there were 2 ships that came out around that time. Talon was one of them. But I don't remember the other one. Which shows how much attention I've done. Blade? No, that doesn't sound right either. Well, you know, we'll find out once we get to Astro Armada. The good old folks at Astro Armada should have both. Now, in a different view, the new Rock DS and the Tumbril Cyclone MT, those are not yet available for in-game purchase, but they can be pledged for, and you can use them immediately. So, you can't buy them for credits, but you can buy them for dollars. Whether or not they're worth it is something I'll have to leave to the viewer, but I don't plan to touch either one of them. Admittedly, that may say more about me than anything else, but there you go. Strike?
Now arriving.
That feels like on the same name theme. Yeah, it can't be Blade, because that would be more Van Duel. Because Van Duel likes to have the sharp object kind of names. Okay, just a quick remark over here. I'm going to put pretty good odds on that when the Invictus Flight Week starts at some point next month, or so I predict, this is where you'll go to the convention center to see it. Unless they decide to pull a fast one and pop it in over at New Babbage like they did to IAE. Alright, let's see. Think. As I try to remember the directions to the Astro Armada. I've chosen poorly. Okay, I probably should have gone a little further up the plaza. Actually, I'm on the entirely wrong side. That didn't help me. And this is why it is important to pay attention to where you're going. Now, if I recall correctly, I should be able to see Astro Armada from here. Yep, there we are, right across the way. And hopefully there won't be somebody standing in front of that terminal for an extended length of time, because that would be really annoying. Honestly, they really need to have had more than one terminal to purchase starships out of. I mean, seriously. But, as usual, I was not consulted. See, Astro Armada has got it right. They have 4, count them, 4 terminals to work off of here. New Deal can learn something from these guys. Alright, let's see. Banu? No, not Banu. Asperia, here we go. Talon and the Talon Shrike. 1.8 million for the Talon. You undersized that grammatically. The Mighty Hawk. Yeah, that's a different manufacturer entirely. And 2.2 million-ish for the Shrike. Swing and a miss. That is pretty high. On the other hand, the Talons are pretty deadly light fighters. I mean, they're better than the Arrow by most accounts. So you would expect it to be pricier than the Arrow. But the Arrow is like 900k or something like that. And these guys, twice that. Or over twice that. That is just crazy talk. Well, moderately crazy. Okay, was there anything else that had been popped? I'm pretty sure that's all the new starships available, but I have been wrong before. As shocking as that may be sounding. But I'm pretty sure that's the lot of them. Alright, well. Those are the new ships available. Yeah, clearly I will not be purchasing any of the Asperia starships today. I mean, I could afford the Talon right now, but then I would have to blow away all of my cash. And I still need to recoup my bounty hunter reputations. Not as good at strafing as the Arrow, though. Yeah, I haven't really tested that, mainly because, I usually don't do the PvP thing, so I usually don't have the opportunity to see that kind of thing. And I didn't spend that much time flying the ship during the expo. Mainly because I had a lot of things going on for the expo. Alright. Let's check contracts for a moment. No, still nothing fancy on the bounty hunter missions here. I've got my fee here, my thing to do the low-risk threat criminals. So I might as well get that on my list here. Do we have any delivery missions that would take me? Well, obviously I'm not going to do quantum-sensitive cargo if I need to go back to Hurston, because that would be insane. Acceleration and deceleration, not as good either. Clearly you have been doing some significant testing. I could have sworn that the values for the quantum-sensitive travel cargo was higher than 10,000. Maybe it was just in Hurston. Yeah, you like your light fighters. Yeah, I don't blame you. I like light fighters too. I like the Arrow because it makes me think of fighter jets, high performance vehicles. That kind of thing is something I've always been a fan of. Now these guys I remember being 11,000, so that makes sense. And I kind of like the Hornet because it's a little heavier, but it has similar performance. Then you get to the Vanguards, and those things are just beating on people. You need to test the Buccaneer to see if overheating is a problem. Yeah, the Buccaneer is one of those ships that I have not flown very often at all, even when the opportunity has been given to me. But I do expect to have the shot to do so during the Invictus Flight Week again. Although, and this is worth mentioning, last year, Drake was not invited to the Invictus Flight Week. And since Drake is a poor loser, they had their own little expo the day after Invictus ended. So this is the kind of attitude you expect from those schmucks over at Drake Interplanetary. I mean, that's just the way they do things. Send their garbage ships out to fly in the aftermath of the great military demonstrations of our time. Okay, this is when I'll do my standard disclaimer. I don't actually have a major problem with Drake, but I'll never admit to it. There is a long-standing competition, well, not competition, more along the lines of disagreement, shall we say, between Legend and myself concerning the value of cutlasses and freelancers. And that's never going to change. Because Legend there is a Drake fanboy, and I am 100% all in for Misk. I will fly a Reliant Tana before I fly a Buccaneer. Of course, admittedly, the Buccaneer probably doesn't go into an uncontrolled spiral and jump out and get out of quantum travel, but you know, hey, we all have our weak points. Freelancer forever. If I ever go affiliate, I'll make the Freelancer remote will also be there. Count on it. There may be a cutlass remote, but it'll also have the circle strike through. Buck's got some serious firepower. Yes, it does. They have a lot of guns. It amazes me how they don't melt whatever's in front of them right away. But as you mentioned, overheating is sometimes a little bit of a problem with those things. Okay, so here I am, happy at ArcCore. I need to go back, and I need to go back relatively soon.
Worlds to exploring the stars, ArcCorp is proud to bring the universe closer.
So the Mercury is certainly the choice for me.
Investing in tomorrow's future.
Fun fact, well, not really fact, but fun little detail is I did fly around my Mercury a couple nights ago. Unfortunately, someone was hanging around Everest Harbor blowing ships up, so once I landed there and got out of the ship, it got blown to bits. Rude.
Obey all security and customs.
He was promptly bounty hunted and killed, so no worries. But I was getting ready to log for the night anyway, so I just claimed the ship, and that was that. Maybe there'll be a trolley in this hangar. Like the MSR, would fly more if I could keep the doors open. Well, I have some news for you. According to rumors that I've been hearing, you can now. And hey, why don't we give it a try and see what happens? I mean, hey, half the point of doing these things is to try them and see what happens, and laugh at anything odd that happens. Where are the trolleys? Hey, what? Buttons work now? Well, Let's find out, shall we? First things first, getting on board. And let's get some lights on in here. Alright, step one. Open. Let's see. Or is the sensors off? That needs to do this. I don't see no doors closing. Do you see a door closing? Because I don't see a door closing. I do wish they'd fix the bug with those lights, though. So it's not so much the open-close buttons that is the issue, it is the sensors that are the issue. You turn off the sensors, presumably after you've opened them. And look, all the way back. And all the way forward. That is a nice view. So there you go. You have your excuse to fly the MSR more frequently. Let's see. You can keep the doors open. Sensors now work. But later in the game, you want them to close if you don't... Oh, yeah. Well, eventually the time is going to come where, yes, you are going to want those doors to close so you don't die of being sucked out into space. But as things stand right now, yes, having those doors open would be nice. Ultimately, it comes down to personal choice.
Systems on.
Alright, let's get out of here. Come to think of it, I'll kill that bounty target in here too, because this is going to be a light bounty. No airships right now anyway. It only seems to be a problem in the cockpit, Legend, because I was walking around in the Constellation, and my oxygen supply was actually going up when I was walking around in it. It seems to be an issue only when you're in the pilot seat. Which is weird, but what else is news?
Engines too hot.
Up and out. Now, as previously mentioned, names have been put on for the Mercury Star Runners as well, and unfortunately it seems awful dark here, so you're probably not going to be able to get a good look. But we are flying my Star Runner, the Hyperspace Outlaw. Named for the very first guild I was a part of in Star Wars Galaxies, the Hyperspace Outlaws. It felt like just the right kind of name for a ship that might be operating on the slightly more shady side of the law. I see the bug about the blank display messages is back. They took care of that at one point, but... well, looks like it came back. Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers. And unfortunately, it is not letting me set a direct route to Hurston, which means I'm going to have to fly around the planet a little bit here. I can do that. Where's an OM marker? Oh, yeah, I suppose I could hit the space station too. I'd rather hit an OM marker. Here we go. South Pole. No, that's not South Pole. 2 is the South Pole. You're losing. Okay. But then they're on quarter 4 of the roadmap. Is that when they're going to be doing that, Red Baron? The air issue is going to be on quarter 4? And you're losing O2 walking around your Sentinel. Well, okay, so much for Aegis doing something right. Okay, there we go. Now we got to move to Hurston. Well, you know what? We will take a quick walk around in Mercury, and we'll see if we have oxygen issues here. Hint is in the Quarter 4, updated January 28th, 2021. All back-end tech tasks required to implement the functioning fire extinguishers in the game.
Complete.
This feature will work alongside the fire hazard system. Well, the problem with back-end tech is that it's not necessarily the same as implementation. That's more along the lines of setting up the groundwork. Ah, yeah, good point, Leslie. Check before I get up. It would be good to have a baseline.
Quantum travel engaged.
Alright, let's take a look. I am right now at 98% oxygen, which is a horrible barometer. Okay, let's try something else. Let's take a look at the Moby Glass and see what it says. Okay, I have theoretically 29 minutes and highly fluctuating numbers. Am I O2 changing? Okay, we're at 98, so let's step out of the flight deck. And let's take a look at where things stand now. I'm at 100. So there is oxygen in the majority of the ship, because I've got 100% now. Now, just to make it really interesting, I really shouldn't be doing this. I really shouldn't. But I'm occasionally mildly insane, so let's unequip the helmet and then sit down. This is either going to be really brilliant or really horrible. Okay, this is interesting. I am not choking to death. So apparently there is oxygen still in the MSR. Okay, we're almost at a location. I want to get the helmet back on just in case it's important. So apparently the problem is that it's not so much the ship doesn't have oxygen, it's that my helmet is losing oxygen. Or more accurately, my sealed suit is losing oxygen. So it's not benefiting from me being in an atmospheric environment. Which actually makes a certain amount of sense when you think about it. Didn't work for me in the Sentinel, didn't test it in any others. Well, you know, it's something worth looking into for a variety of ships to see what happens. Mad science. I always approve of mad science. But it makes sense that if you have your suit all sealed up, that you would be using the suit oxygen. I'm not 100% sure how it's supposed to, refill. I mean, you could refill by, taking the helmet off. But it was refilling while I was standing up and walking around, so who knows?
Quantum travel engaged.
Or we can call it, a bug. Because, yeah, that never happens.
Quantum travel complete.
Alright. Percy, where are you hiding? Especially since my marker is not showing up on my radar properly. Possibly because I'm not pointing at Percy himself. That would explain a lot. Much better. I was so concerned about getting to Hurston. Yes. Oh, I didn't tag. Oh no. Well, luckily this is a low-risk mission, so if I get killed by it in a low-risk mission with my buffed-up MSR, I deserve to wind up back on hardcore. Let's try to avoid. Invisible asteroids are the problem. Well, okay, I'll give you that one.
Quantum travel engaged.
What can I say? Well, those guys are definitely not invisible.
Contact.
And there's my target. So let's put an end to him. He's an interceptor, so if I can't blow up an interceptor in an MSR, I deserve to die.
Attack on shields.
Oh, he survived the first pass, but he won't survive the second.
Target destroyed.
Destroyed. Well, and I apparently had a piece of debris hit my ship there because the whole back end just went red. But I'm not seeing the wear and tear. Sometimes I wonder about that ship status button. Well, I'm definitely feeling performance reactions because I certainly did not do a roll there, and I'm rolling. So why don't we head over to Everest Harbor and wrap things up. Oh yeah, oh man, I am definitely, yeah, my engines are definitely not playing nicely. Landing is going to be entertaining.
Quantum travel.
But on the bright side, Everest Harbor is 0G, whereas Hurston is definitely 1G. And bad things will happen. Gotta bounce. Thanks for the stream. You take it easy, life. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And let's see. Everest Harbor, where do you go? I see the quantum beacon is being cranky like it usually is. Usually when you're trying to... Ooh, man, my engines definitely are not cooperating. When you do a jump from elsewhere to Everest, 9 times out of 10, you do not end up at Everest. You just wind up at Hurston area. Later, everyone, check out the Eternal Writers org if you're in the market for... if you're interested in joining an org for the Star Citizen. Yeah, there we go. Blah, blah, blah. Don't mind me. In fact, here we go. A handy link to both the organization website and the Eternal Writers Discord server. So, if you want to hang around and see what kind of crazy we get into, which tends to be more or less crazy, there it is. Fortunately, something else that hasn't been kicking off. Oh well. Something else I'm still working on getting my bots to play nicely with me, and they're still not working quite the way I want them to. Although I did finally get rid of the stupid uppercase links, because that was just being too much of a pain. Later, legend. I am approaching Everest Harbor and will hopefully not end up crashing into it. Ordinarily, this is not something that concerns me over much, but with my engines being as cranky as they are right now, because, you know, damage, landing could be a little more interesting, like, oh god, we're all going to die. I see that the vocals for the Crusader ships are still needing work. It's not telling me that there's a landing pad available. It will not tell me that I'm landing appropriately or anything like that. I just have to go off visual cues. Already getting a lot of flack for wanting the game less arcadey. Well, you know, yeah, I mean, there's going to be something for everybody in this game. I'm getting the impression of. I mean, you've got mining here, you've got trading. I mean, it's not EVE Online, but there's a lot going on, with more on the way. Okay, autoland kicked on, thank heavens. I was sure I was going to whack into the bottom. Well, I'm still not quite aligned. This landing could... Okay, good. We're flattened out. Not going to crash after all. I'm also not dropping. Why am I not dropping? I'm hovering, but I'm not dropping. The auto land feature looks like it's run into some minor inconveniences. Okay, so we'll bring up the landing gear and bring it back down. We'll do it the hard way.
Landing gear up.
Don't mind the professions. I just let us fly our ships more than now. All right, down and out.
Engines. Systems off.
Yeah, I like to use the auto land feature, and I'll tell you why. Because when I use the auto land feature, if I land on, say, a landing pad or something like that, 9 times out of 10, I'll be able to use the repair services and refuel and rearm services. If I don't do the auto land, I can land okay just fine, but I don't land in the right spot that allows those landing services to be used. So I wind up in a position where I've landed, but I can't do a refuel, I can't do a rearm. I am stuck, and what the heck? I'm taking damage from something. That does remind me, though, that I do need to try to repair, so let's get back in the ship and see if I can actually do that. Yeah, maybe I was being hit by some electrical short. If someone were shooting at me with a ship, I would have figured I'd be dead. Okay, let's see if I got the landing services. Okay, at least the repair's working here, so let's go ahead and do the repair. No boom! No boom! No whammies, no whammies. What just happened there? I didn't hit F1. Whoa, what the heck? Well, the good news is I'm still alive. Yeah, guess what? We had a boom after all. What the heck? You know, I think we've just encountered that landing ramp thing that was being mentioned earlier. So far, I have yet to successfully land my Star Runner in this patch. It has always exploded. Now, the first time was because someone blew me up. But this time it was the ramp bug. Ah, well. Sometimes the plan does not go as you expect. Story of my life. Well, I think we've hit a good stopping area. We're past 3 o'clock hour, so I think we'll be calling it for this stream this afternoon. I will be streaming more Star Citizen next week, next Saturday at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern to approximately 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. I will also be streaming Star Trek Online Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And there will be a special Star Trek Online stream this evening at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern to 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern, continuing the Delta Challenge that's been thrown out to some of the Star Trek Online streamers. And I am currently, for this challenge, I am using a Klingon character, going with the Klingon Empire. I did a bit of random determination to determine what faction I would go with. I would either go with Fed, Klingon, or Romulan, and the dice came up as Klingon. And specifically, one of the Discovery era Klingon looks. And he looks pretty badass, honestly, if I look at him. Previous to that, I've been doing a Romulan character. Well, Romulan aligned character. Let me rephrase that. It's an alien character, but Romulan aligned. But I've kind of put that on pause while I attempt to do the challenge until it reaches its inevitable conclusion with me at the bottom rung. Like the Next Generation Klingons. Well, you know, Klingons are pretty consistent. Well, admittedly, the original series Klingons were more like the Next Generation Romulans. Of course, the Next Generation Romulans are more like the original series Klingons, so somewhere along the line, the two societies flipped. Crazy, right? Okay, so I hope everyone enjoyed the stream, whether you're watching this live or whether you caught this on one of the video on demand things like YouTube, or if it hangs around on Twitch long enough for people to watch it there. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you all next time. This is Koreth Landwalker signing off.